Welcome to the next lecture of pattern recognition. So let's briefly recall what we have been doing so far. We looked at Bayes classifier and we seen that to how to implement Bayes classifier we need class conditional densities. So we have been looking at method for obtaining class conditional densities from the training sample of examples. So parametric density estimation is the topic we will cover today with the maximum likelihood estimation, the method. As we see in last classes, there are essentially two approaches to estimation densities, that is parametric and non-parametric. In last lecture, we saw that the parametric method, we assume the form of density, that is we know, as we assume that the density is known except for the value of the some parameter and then estimate the parameters from the training samples. We have seen many ways to rate different density different estimates, such as unbiased estimate, uniformly minimum variance, unbiased estimate, and so on. One property that we looked as the consistency of an estimator is the main property. An estimate is said to be consistent if as sample size grows to infinite. It converges in probability to the true value of the parameter, and we have seen that the maximum likelihood method is a general procedure for obtaining consistent estimation. We looked at the maximum likelihood method. In the maximum likelihood estimate, we estimate the defined at the maximizer of the likelihood function, and we have seen a few example, but in most standard density model one can analytically derive the maximum likelihood estimates. Last class we seen as a couple of example. One is dimensional Gaussian estimation with mean and variance. So probability density method, parametric or non-parametric. In parametric, we assume the shape of the distribution but not the parameters. So two type of parameter estimation. First is maximum likelihood estimation and second is Bayesian estimation. In non-parametric method, the form of the density is entirely determined by the data without any model. Here in dependence across classes, we have training data for some classes. Suppose salmon, seabass, again salmon and seabass. Some fishes are shown here. When estimated parameters of one class, we will only use the data collected for that class. Reasonable assumption that the data for class Ci gives no information about distribution of the class J. So estimate parameters for distribution of salmon form and estimate parameter for distribution of bass form. Here two classes derived. Maximum likelihood parameter estimation. This parameter delta are always, but that is fixed, not random, as a random variable. So the given training data, we have to choose the parameter value beta and makes the data most probable, that maximizes the probability of obtaining the samples that has actually been observed. And we also seen a simple random variable, namely the Bernoulli random variable, and takes two or more values as 0 and 1. For those samples, we have seen 10 ml or other. So we are given a little sample from the density. We don't know lambda and we need to estimate lambda, gives the given example. And for the R estimation, we have to maximize the likelihood. So in this case, the likelihood function is given in product I, that is equal to 1 to n, and fx is I given lambda, that is lambda exponentially minus is lambda. So we want to find lambda. We are given xi is the data. We need to find lambda which maximizes this, and we will set that last class. Very often for each of optimization we take the log likelihood. So if we I logarithmic of this I take, then the product becomes lambda plus, and the log of this will become minus lambda. Log likelihood, which we normally denote by small I. Here we have to understand when do maximum likelihood and Bayes method differ. For reasonable prior distribution that do not preclude the true solution, maximum likelihood and Bayes solution are equivalent in the symptotic limit. And however, since practical pattern recognition problem invariably have a limited set of training data, it is natural to ask when maximum likelihood and Bayes solution may be expected to differ, and when which should we prefer and which we choose. There are several criteria that will influence our choice. In maximum likelihood parameter estimation, the choosing criteria may be your one is computational complexity, and maximum likelihood method are often to be preferred because they require merely differential calculus or gradient rather than a possibly complex multidimensional integration needed in the Bayesian estimation. So this lead to another consideration, interpretability. In many cases, the maximum likelihood solution will be easier to interpret and understand because it returns the single best model from the set of designer provided. In contrast, Bayesian method give a weighted average of models, often leading to solution more complicated and harder to understand than those provided by the designer. So Bayesian approach reflects the remaining uncertainty in the possible model. One more consideration we can say that is our confidence in the prior information, such as in the form of underlying distribution. A maximum likelihood solution must be course to be assumed parametric form. So not so far the Bayesian solution. We saw this difference in the earlier examples. In general, through the use of the full distribution Bayesian method, we use the information brought to the problem. In that likelihood of with respect of the sample D and maximum likelihood estimate, that is MLE normally considered, and zeta is the value of the eta when maximizes the likelihood function that P did zeta. PL parameter estimation and PL classifier, how they differ. Recall ML is a classifier. We have to decide class Ci, which maximizes the probability of fixed data, and compare with the ML parameter estimation. ML classifier and ML parameter estimation use the same principle that is applied to different problems. So instead of maximizing this, it is usually easier to maximize the log of that probability. Since log is monotonic, so this we can see here the response of different p and log n. To simplify notation, we use this log n, and here the top graph, here three graphs are shown, and top graph shows several training point in one dimensional and Gaussian, the particular variance but unknown mean. 4 of the finite number of the candidate source distribution are shown in the dashed. Here 4 different samples are shown. The middle figure shows the likelihood. Here how they likely resemble as the function of the mean if they had a very large number of training point. This data, this also maximizes the logarithmic of the likelihood. So maximizing and zeta can be solved by standard method from calculus. That's the rule. Also have to check the zeta when satisfies the above condition is maximum, not minimum or scheduled point. Fortunately for us, most of the ML estimate of any densities we would care about have been computed. So average of the max taken, MLE example with Gaussian with some unknown mu. Let's MLE for Gaussian with mu and zeta square. Similarly, we can be shown with this 8p and nu, and both mean and variance are unknown. Then again very intuitive result came. Similarly, it can be shown by these p x up to sigma is n mu and sigma, and x is a multivariant Gaussian. Now the question is how to measure the performance of MLE. Is performing well or not. So how good is a ML estimate zeta dash, or actually any other estimate for a parameter, or second we consider as the neural measure of the error. So third may be zeta and zeta dash difference. It is a random and we cannot compute it before we carry out our experiment. So a way to solve this difficulty is to average the error. We have to compute the mean absolute error. It is actually much easier to compute and almost equivalent measure of performance, that is mean squared error, with this formula, to a little algebra and use variable x and ex square and error of ex expected and found variable and bias here shown. That is the ideal case, bad case, and again bad case with no bias. Here ideal case with no bias, and bad case with large bias, and bad case with no bias. So low variance and high variance is being shown in the graph. Let's compute the bias. The formula of bias is just given in the Doda's book. We have taken from this. You can refer. So suppose someone claims that we have a new great estimator for the mean, just like the first sample. So mu, this mean is just equal to x1. So estimator is unbiased here, no biasing with high variance, as we have seen in the last here this. So without bias and with high variance, it goes like that. In the summation we can get, in general, if the parameter of the density are related to the moment of the random variable and all moment of the x is expectation, so if we take the corresponding sample mean approximation for the expectation, very often they turn out the maximum likelihood estimation of the parameter. We already seen in the such formulas that how to bad and ideal case goal. Maximum likelihood estimate for lambda of exponential density happens to 1 by sample mean, because the actual mean is 1 by lambda. We will see a few more samples. So far we seen only the scalar case of the continuous random variable and one scalar case of discrete random variable. Let's talk about the one vector that multidimensional Gaussian density. Here x is a vector of x, that here, and x is in d-dimensional real space. X is the d component vector. This density is the d-dimensional Gaussian density. So Gaussian density earlier, this is by 1 by root of 2 pi to the power d into determinant of sigma exponential minus of x, that so we know how to estimate the mass function of the individual feature because we only considered a single discrete random variable. So that means you can get marginal distribution of each of the feature in all such problems. Of course, you implement the Bayes classifier, we need to join distribution of the feature vector, that is the class conditional density we want. So very often what we will assume for simplicity is the feature that are independent. If I assume feature are independent, the marginal distribution tells us everything which is right. Then the joint mass function is simply the product of the marginal mass function, right? As a matter of the fact, the kind of Bayes classifier where the feature vector consists of number of feature, which feature is discrete random variable, as we have seen. So the conclusion says the two approaches, which are k-nearest problem and the likelihood problem, the map estimate is something that is specific. Only a Bayesian estimation, because it depends on the mode of the posterior density. So it is actually the mode of the posterior density, or we can simply take the mean of the posterior density as the parameter value. That is also possible. So essentially, looking at the posterior density, we take some specific value of theta obtained from the posterior density and add the final value of theta plus. Then we get our class conditional density of our densities. All these are used. So this is the general introduction of the Bayesian estimation. So in next class we will look at a few example of how to whole things is done. How is specific situations we get conjugate prior, how we may be able to find that f of x given to d, how we may be able to find map of expectation of the posterior at the estimate. We will once again do for the same density, for normal density, for Bernoulli, for general finite value, discrete random variables, and so on. So we can compare the that we want answer we get in estimation with the answer we will get with Bayesian estimation. So enough for today. Thank you.